So I recently asked my followers to help me decide what to draw. I gave 4 options for a subject and 4 options for a color palette, and it ended up in a tie, shockingly. So I had to make the decision myself. I chose the first of each category that had the most votes. So this color palette and a girl in a pretty dress. I know. It's what happens when you're indecisive. You usually end up having to make the decision anyway. But I've really wanted to do a challenge like this for a long time, especially since limiting your color palette can really force you to be creative and to use colors in a way that makes the picture balanced, makes the different features stand out. So I ended up going with this cottagecore style aesthetic that I've really been loving. I am really going to be disappointed when this goes out of style, especially since I haven't really gotten to wear any dresses like this. I don't know if I could find a dress like this, but I love flowy dresses like this that are just really elegant and very, I don't know, they remind me of like being the main character of a classic fairy tale or something like this. I didn't actually use a reference for this drawing. I probably should have, especially since I'm now realizing that her shoulders are kind of looking a little weird when I drew them in under her transparent sleeves. But I didn't use a reference, but this dress did end up looking actually a lot like that strawberry dress that was really popular for a while. But, you know, I don't hate it. I really like that dress. One thing I've really been loving with digital drawing recently especially is adding patterns, how much that can really enhance a drawing or just make especially clothing come alive, give it some texture and some interest instead of just, you know, this flat surface. It really looks more like a real garment once you've added patterns to it, and especially if you tweak it just little bits here and there to make it really react like fabric would. So shading was also a bit of a challenge with this color palette being so very limited, and I ended up using the smudge tool more than I have been recently. I haven't really been one to use the smudge tool in recent years, but I'm kind of getting back into that. It can definitely help to soften some hard lines, especially. If I could go back and do this picture again, I probably would have tried to make the line work a bit more delicate, just because this picture ended up looking very delicate and some of the lines ended up looking a little too harsh, especially for how, you know, airy and very dainty this dress is. So some of the lines ended up being a little harsher than I would have liked. I do have to say I'm kind of proud of how this basket turned out. I know it's not looking much right now. But once I added in that lighter shade of brown and kind of made some of the highlights pop and give it some more texture, it really started to look a lot better. You know, I love traditional drawing, but there is something about digital art that makes it to where you can kind of take more risks, I feel, where you can test out to see if like this certain shading element works or not. And if it doesn't, then the drawing isn't ruined. You can go back and erase it. You can try something different. You can do something else. And also playing around with opacity is really awesome. And you know, like on the transparent edges of the dress, I was able to add shading but then kind of soften it so it still has that transparent look. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see the other options that tied with this one, if you would like to see me draw a stack of books or a cozy book nook with this color palette, then please comment down below, like and subscribe, and maybe you'll see that in a future video. And if you'd like to take part in some of these challenges, if you'd like to help me decide what to draw when I'm indecisive, then please follow me on Instagram over at Kendra Crae Writes.